right, Coffee with Gaz here with Gio Valdez. Appreciate you, man, coming on.
For sure, man.
For the record, it is Gio, not Giovanni.
I mean, it is Giovanni, but everybody calls me Gio.
We're sticking to that.
Yeah, let's do
I
that.
think it's cool to have a nickname, though, you know? Like,
Yeah.
my name's too short. It's Lewis. Even though call me, I guess I'll go by Gaz. It's kind of, I guess that's my stage name. I'm kind of going at.
Stage
These
name.
guys want to come up with like a different handle, but I mean, I go by Gaz. But now that, you know, our last name's pretty unique and it's where there's pretty much 10 of us. Like, if you ever meet a Gaz or two, it's my brother or cousin. There's no,
Yeah.
but now that we're kind of getting older, there's a few more Gazes. So I realized it wasn't special to me. It's like anybody who knows anybody in my family, everybody calls each other Gaz. So it's cool. But I'll be Gaz, you'll be Gio.
You know what though? Like I feel like the guys that you refer to them by their last name, like those are like the most like reliable dudes. You know, I'm already thinking about guys that I refer to them by their last name, and it's like those are the ones that you can always rely on them for stuff. So I'm sure it's the same with you.
I like that. I always thought that was a sports thing.
Really?
I mean, as far as baseball, everyone always had like a
baseball-wise.
nickname. Baseball's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you played other sports.
Yeah.
But baseball always had like the nickname thing. It was like a
Yeah, that's definitely the nickname sport for sure. I mean, Raleigh Fingers, right? That's a great nickname.
they'll just call you by your number.
Yeah.
Like Fernie was 7 or Fernando. Like,
Yeah.
I call him Fernando, and he's like, "Who is that?" You know, that's like my dad. That's my dad. Don't be so formal. But cool, man. Look, honestly, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is we connected via social media, which I know sounds crazy or different.
Taboo.
Is it taboo? Yeah, it is taboo. Not many
guess.
people actually talk about it, but it was cool. Like, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that because I think, and we'll find out because we're getting to know each other now. Like, we're literally just meeting in person. You know, kind of getting into the social media aspect of it as a company and me stepping out of my comfort zone. I feel like I'm kind of trying to find my way as well, right? Like, kind of just doing things. And for me, it's always about being authentic. But I remember just literally engaging and seeing the stuff you're doing. I was drawn to it. Like, I just think the stuff you're doing comes across just so organic, but so real. Like, I feel like I know you already. Like, I know just some little things about you. And I thought that was so cool. I don't think people necessarily talk about that as much. Like, you know, and I think I know why. I'm not sure why. I wish the taboo of social media was a little more like it is okay to organically get to know people. Like, there's no more, especially now with COVID, man, being able to, like to use the word connectivity. Like, that's kind of like a lost start, right? To be able to connect with people and not make it about yourself. But how long have you, again, because we met each other there, like, have you always been to social media?
I mean, I've always, if we're going back, right, I used to use MySpace, you know, the top 8 and all that kind of stuff, but I wasn't really, I've had all these different things, you know, I've used AIM Messenger back when it was a thing, MySpace, Facebook when it first came out. I wouldn't say I was always very handy with it though. I just would kind of use it and there was no like intent. It was just kind of using it, right? And then about, I would say maybe 2 years ago, when I was trying to be more effective with my business and not only being effective with my business, but also being relational with people, I started like just changing the dynamic of it and using it for a purpose as opposed to just using it for fun. I do think it's effective. And one of the reasons why I think it is taboo is at least coming up, I remember there was always, you know, horror stories about social media and connecting with people online. And, you know, oftentimes, listen, there's bad people on social media and not.
Right.
But you would always hear these horror stories. And I think that's kind of why people don't really talk about it, about ways that you can connect with people effectively. So I think that's probably part of it. But as far as me, I wasn't always savvy with it. I don't even think I am now. I think I just have a little bit more of a following because I've been intentional about it. But I mean, it's honestly a grind. It really is.
Talk about it, and it does take effort, commitment, consistency. You know, I think one thing I see when you do it is that you're so authentic, and even me trying to put out content and really not making it about myself, but making it to provide value to other people. But I think the only way you could do it so long and so often is if you are authentic. Like, it's exhausting being you, like, right? And you got to be you. But imagine trying to be somebody you're not.
Oh my God!
Right? That just becomes. I get overwhelmed even thinking about it. But I mean, I've seen you just kind of like pivot and talk about like the social media aspect and about helping your business now. Like, I mean, I obviously been following you, but have you seen it pick up when COVID happened? Now, I know you're in the fitness world, which has been devastated, right? Kind of what's going on. Like, I'm seeing able to pivot, but like you're still being relevant with your clients, like being out there, just like, have you turned it up even more now with what's going on?
Yeah, man. I mean, one of the things that we've seen in the fitness industry, with, because of COVID, is corporate gyms are really struggling. There's been a lot of high profile names like David Barton gyms that they've closed down, Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and big time gyms. LA Fitnesses are closing, 24-hour fitnesses are closing. And one thing that's been a blessing for me is that this has been my best year,
Really?
despite COVID and the pandemic.
That's great.
I think part of it is just my faith and just being able to grind, and even though the outside might look a certain way, I'm still grinding and doing my thing. But I think also is me picking up social media and using that as a tool and allowing people to see me, which is not easy, man. It's not easy.
It's not.
It's
I
not.
think that's once people. I think that's the biggest wall people put in front of them. Right? Is like letting people in to see who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. Like I find everybody interesting. Like I don't think people they don't give themselves enough credit per se. Right? Like everyone's like, I might not be interesting to say something, but I think everybody has their own story. Kind of like, which is social media. I think that's what I'm like so much about social media, is getting to know like who they are and what they are. To me, it's fascinating.
People love a good story, man. People love a good story because people can relate with something that they've been through. So everyone, like you mentioned before, everyone has their own story, and obviously within reason, if you share it, you can impact someone. And I think that's what separates me from other people, is that first off, I can't be anybody else. Like I know, and I'm not saying this with in bravado or anything like that, but I know I'm a special person. I think everyone is special in their own way, and I know that if I allow people in and see that listen, there's something in my life that can help you. I know I don't know it all, but I know that I can at least do something that's going to improve your life or help you out. I think we should all have that attitude and apply that to other people's lives, and not just always focus on ourselves. I'm honored that you said that you feel I'm authentic, because I don't really. It's not that I'm trying to be that. It's just I have a word that I want to say. I have a mission and I have a purpose, and I just want to live it. And there's people that don't like me, man. People sometimes have blocked me. They don't like what I have to say or anything, but it's okay. Like, I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. Like, I don't want to be for everyone, but if I'm able to impact at least one life, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. The one thing, going back to MySpace, by the way.
Yeah.
That you brought that up. I'm terrified. Is this still a thing?
Yeah. Justin Timberlake bought it.
Did he?
Yeah, he bought it a few years back, man. It's still a thing.
I'm just concerned if anybody would have find out, and if I can get my password and figure out, because I'm sure like there's some bad pictures on there.
Oh man, for sure.
But I'm assuming it's to like an old email that I can't even recover. Yeah. That's like the old AOL accounts. Remember the ones everyone used to put?
Dude, what was you got to give me your email. Like, do you remember one?
But it was my same Lugaz. I've always had.
Okay. You've always had that same thing.
Yeah. It wasn't like, the king or what is it?
Yeah,
like
big
Daddy 305.
Big Nasty or something like that. Some weird name.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I do, thinking about MySpace, and it's funny. And I don't know if you remember some of the drama back then. Remember when you used to, was it top 5 or top 8?
You can change it. You can determine.
So remember, you had to keep some of your friends in check, right? Hey, that was like the subliminal way. Oh, hold on, who's in the top 8? You got to move down. You didn't call me back, or I'm not mad at you right now. Or you slide somebody else in there to cause a little bit of drama. I kind of that was like a good checking mechanism. So I miss MySpace for that.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like, I remember in high school, there was always that drama of like, who's dating who,
right?
And when you would see someone removed from the top 8, you knew that the relationship was done, man, and you were ready.
Or you
can move in,
or move in opportunity, right? Someone's a free agent.
You can move in for the kill, but
it's funny how to evolve that. But going back to like what I see you do and I try to do it. I think the most uncomfortable thing, especially when social media is actually doing videos. Like you can look at a photo, right? A photo says X. I always tell people, like, again, not the easiest thing in the world, but get on camera, see yourself talk. Dude, it's something I'm trying to get better at, right? But I think that's what kind of comes across even more, especially like when we talk about connecting with people and the message you're trying to put out there. That's what kind of like, dude, I saw you put some great stuff, obviously, and I can see that you're doing it for other people. Yeah. Which I think is another step as well. Like so much of it's it's personal PR if people want to look at it.
For sure.
Right? That's what it is. But if the content is and the purpose to help others and engage with others, provide value, that's the next level stuff.
It is. I mean, one of the challenges for me per se when it comes to social media is balancing promoting myself and my business because I am my business,
Right.
and also educating, motivating people, and inspiring them. Recently my grandfather passed, and he was my life, man. I mean, he was basically, grandfather, second father, right? So for a while, I was like not using social media. I was trying to get my mind right and get right there and be there for my family. And I started looking at and seeing other people deal with pain. This year, COVID and other issues, we've seen a lot of people pass away this
Right.
year. And I'm not the only one that's hurting. So it was very difficult for me to be vulnerable and put my face, it's always, till this day, it's not easy for me to do it, but I do it. And put my face and attach it and just share my journey and share what I'm feeling, because I know that someone else can be impacted by that. And, sure enough, I got plenty of messages from people telling me, obviously sorry for your loss, but hey, I had a buddy of mine, his father passed away 3 months ago. And he told me, listen, man, like, thank you for posting that, because I've been dealing with the same. So you being vulnerable is a good thing, because usually people can see that and relate, and then you can impact that way.
I think it's the most relatable thing, to be vulnerable. Like, we all go through the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Sometimes going that little, not being who you are and being a little extra, you can see right through it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't necessarily connect, right? Like, it's kind of like it pokes holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get into fitness though? Because one thing I like what you're doing too. The second part is like a lot of the workouts. Yeah, it's personal training, but a lot has to do with functional fitness too.
Yes.
Like athletic based mindset, which we were talking about earlier. I wish when I played ball, right? I was more into like how heavy. What was your squat?
Yeah.
Squat, clean, and then bench. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Dude, if you would train me back in the day, maybe I had a shot.
Man, you'd be up in the big leagues right now.
I'm in the Hall of Fame right now, man. Maybe even in the Hall of Fame. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, but what got you into like the actual? Well, your background as an athlete. I know you played basketball. Like, what got you into the training side?
So a lot of things, really, but I'll make it as brief as I can. I played basketball, high school, a little bit in college, and I tried to play overseas. And 2013, I tried out for the Miami Heat's D League, which now is the G League team at the time. And literally the day before, I tore a ligament in my ankle.
Oh, wow.
And I had trained really hard for the entire year. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. I'm going to go show out and do what I can. And I knew I was not at my best. And ever since then, I haven't been the same player. And I always think of, man, if I would have had someone there to help me get my body right, where could I have gone? How far could I have gone? And I've always been about helping people. That's always been my mission my entire life, helping people. And in that season, I did a lot of soul searching and a lot of mentors. Shout out to Omar Acosta and Angel Nicholas, because they really took me under their wing and they showed me how to be successful in this industry. I decided, you know what, let me help other athletes as well as business professionals reach their highest levels of performance. So that's what really got me to where I am today. I've been blessed enough to work with a lot of different people. It wasn't always like that. There was a lot of grinding. Man, I used to train people at Tropical Park for free in the beginning, just so I can get my feet wet and learn.
Get the reps in.
Get the reps
up the
in.
hill of the mountain?
Oh, for sure,
the
man.
Miami Mountain?
The Miami Mountain. Dude, I went up the Miami Mountain. But yeah, man, it's been a daily grind, and that's what really got me to where I am today. Is just always at the heart of it is helping people. And then my own pain and my own experience of not making it to where I wanted to. I wanted to make sure that other people had the better chance that I didn't have.
And you've seen it. You mentioned earlier about how you pivoted and doing well. Is it more because it's not just it's functional fitness, but it's not just athletes. Like, you're training anybody.
Yeah. So for the most part, most of my clients are athletes or business professionals, people that are like really busy. They need to come in and put the work in. So anyone really can come, but it just so happens that my training, because it's more functional, it's more catered and personalized to what the person's trying to accomplish. That's just the clientele that I'm seeing, and that's my niche. You know what I mean? But I deal with all kinds of clients, all kinds of people. People that are dealing with pain post surgery, people that are trying to lose some weight, all kinds of clients. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to do that. But my niche, like you mentioned, is functional fitness, and being able to not only get stronger, feel better, but also do it for a long period of time. What good is it to squat or lift heavy if you can't maintain that and play with your kids or pick them up, get into your car, like simple things.
Did you see like the shift, though, like going from like the traditional workout stuff to the functional? There was like a big, at least I remember when that started, when I was playing, like the old guard was kind of like, nah, it's not going to work. Right.
Yeah.
There wasn't like that forward thinking of, that's what you should be doing. Lighter reps, just mobility, functional stuff, explosiveness. Like I see some of the stuff you do, man. It's pretty interesting. I wonder if I can still get it. I'm 38. I know I look.
No, man.
I know I look
Listen,
25.
listen. You can
got a
do.
little-
Listen, honestly, there's things that our bodies we don't give our bodies enough credit. Like there's things our bodies are really amazing. They're if you study it and look at the anatomy, like there's so many different things that because we don't put ourselves under that stress, we don't know that we're even capable of doing that. And that's what I love. Like seeing my clients come in and they don't think they can do something, and then 3 weeks later, 6 weeks later, they're like, "Wow, like I couldn't even do that when I was 18."
What's the timeline? What do you think? How long does it take for it to become a habit? People say, what's it, 14, 21 days, 30 days? Like, what's kind of like the target to get somebody to this becomes habitual, right?
Yeah.
Not just kind of a workout, but like a way of life. It's funny, man. I remember going to these things. Maybe I didn't enjoy it so much because again, working out and being in college, it was just like I told you, just squat heavy, front squat, back squat, bench, and then go run pulls.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Which they don't do anymore.
Which see, I missed out, man. I was born the wrong time, which is ironic because now, like at this stage, I've kind of gotten to this thing where now I'm into running, where I hated it before, but I'm into it. I think it's almost like an escape. Like when COVID started and stuff like that, away leave the house, just go out for a run. The thing about running, and I'm trying to get people into it. I mean, people are into it already, but it's like one of those only workouts that you just can go out for as long as you want, right? For there's no set time. So you do have to push yourself too. Like running on your own, you might want to quit every 10 minutes. I'm going to keep going. So I do that to kind of like try to push myself. But falling, and then it's just like, I just felt because of different ways I was trained, I did almost like fall in love with working out. I kind of got sick of it. And then I kind of like the habits haven't been built so much long term. I just kind of every 2 months mix it up and do something different. Running has been the longest thing I've done for a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Like when it comes to habits, I know it's not the sexy answer, but it really just depends. There's no, at least from the research that I've done, there's no scientific thing. Although we've always heard, it takes 3 weeks, but I mean, it's relative. Like you're gonna tell the single mother that has 3 children that might not be able to train every single day that she's gonna, create a habit in 3 weeks. Like it's really relative to every single person. At least with my clients, like I always tell them, like, let's give this at least 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Let's give it 6 weeks, and if after that, like you feel like you're not satisfied, then we'll figure something out. But that rarely happens because when you adapt to something new and you start seeing how much better you feel, like why would you stop?
Right. That's the ultimate. Starting to see results is like the ultimate motivator as well. Yeah. What position did you play?
Basketball, man. So in high school, I would even play the 3, the 4 sometimes because our team was so undersized. Like we played small ball before small ball was a thing.
You were the Phoenix Suns.
We were the Phoenix Suns, and like the cool thing about our team is that everyone could bring the ball up the floor. So our team was awesome in that sense. But obviously, like when I got to college and when I tried playing pro ball, I was always like a 0.2 guard.
Okay.
You can get away with being, because I'm 6'2", so you can get away with playing shooting guard and small forward in other places, but not the NBA.
You look taller than 6'2".
Really?
If the camera, I think you're like 6'3" and a half. I'm 6'3".
I hope so, man.
So you're 6'4".
Really?
Just for the record. Anybody,
maybe with shoes on. Maybe with shoes on.
In the future, anybody comes in, you tell them you're 6. I'm gonna tell everybody you're 6'4" because you know what I mean. You're a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Than me. And I tell everybody I'm 6'3", so we gotta make.
We gotta do something. Well, you know what? I'm sure with shoes on, like I'm wearing my basketball gear and everything, I'm probably that. But if I measure myself barefoot, I'm probably like 6'2", which I wish I was like taller, man. Like now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna see if I grew.
I mean, yeah, see if you grew, man. You might have grown since the last time you measured yourself.
I mean, it's been years, man. It's been years. So who knows?
I used to have longer hair, so it was easier to kind of like. But you know how it is when you do the stats. Like, when you're in college, your stats they always added a couple inches,
always.
A little more weight, right? We're not going to the combine, so you can get away with it.
No, you can get away with it. Well, now it's different. I don't know if you saw, at least in the NBA, this season was the first season where they got these guys' actual heights. Like they couldn't lie anymore. So you know how LeBron for many years was like, I'm 6'8", 250? They actually put his real info. So he was like 6'9", 270. Which,
really? Like so he was trying to be lighter.
Lighter and shorter. So yeah, it's crazy. Like a lot of these guys that we thought were taller, and I'll give you a quick story. I used to work for the Heat, the 4 years that LeBron was in Miami, and I remember we were playing the Chicago Bulls in the playoffs back when Derrick Rose was Derrick Rose.
Yeah, that was the intense rivalry. Yeah,
intense. And I always used to read up on Derrick Rose that he was 6'3". So I'm walking. The bus just dropped the guys off, and I'm walking back in like the area where the players were coming in through, and I've always said I'm 6'2". I'm looking at Derrick Rose, and I'm looking down at him. And I'm like, there's no way this guy's 6'3".
You're not. I'm telling you,
There's
not 6'2".
no way. So when this season happened and they put the guy's actual height, guess who's 6'1"? Derrick Rose. So I know for a fact what you're saying is true. Like, these guys are not as tall or as short as they say they are.
What'd you do when you worked with the Heat? What'd you do for them?
So I used to help manage 4,000 part-time employees.
Okay.
So like anything from ushers, ticket takers, Levy, which is like the restaurant.
Yep.
Entertainment, so like dancers, DJ, everyone that was there like part-time, we would do like training on customer service and guest services. So that's what I did there for 4 years, man. It was a nice ride. I even got the championship rings, man. Like, that was really cool.
Really?
I didn't expect that, but it was.
So you got two or three rings?
Yeah, I got two with my name on them, dude. Like, I didn't expect all
That's
that.
amazing.
It's pretty cool. It was a great experience and a great time in my life.
Like, you hear so much stuff about the Heat organization from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a couple of clients there. Obviously, never worked there, but just the way they come across like a first-class organization. What was that experience like? I mean, even in your position, right? Like top to bottom.
Yeah, like I was not there long enough to make that climb to be in the basketball ops, which is ultimately my goal. That's what I went to school for, sports administration. But it really is first class, like the way that they treat every single person. Like for people that are there part-time, literally that don't even work 20 hours a week, they would do like banquets for them and award giveaways and different things, like to make them feel included as if they were someone that's there, like daily grind and everything. So it really is first class from the way that the facilities look, from the way that they treat people, the attention to detail and the organization of everything. Like and I know they say it often, but there is a culture there. And I think successful businesses and successful people have that in them, that culture mentality.
Yeah, it's something that we're doing here. I'm trying to build here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody says culture. That's like one of those words. Oh, we have a good culture. Like, what does that really mean, right?
Yeah.
Like I identify it as like everybody in your organization kind of being on the same page, and just overall like understanding the message. Like for me, I'm super passionate about helping our staff. I think the better we help our staff, the happier they are, the better they're going to treat our clients.
Yeah.
I mean, customer's always right, and I'm yes, technically right. I'll say it because we have to say it. But most of the times, man, it's about backing up your staff as well. Like, we're not a fit for everybody. Like, take care of your people, and they'll take care of your clients. And that's the stuff we're trying to like do here. And I'm learning. You know, I'm again doing this now. I think we're up to 42 employees as a company.
Yeah.
And continue to grow and kind of adapt. I think one of the biggest challenges and why social media I think helps too is, you know, COVID happened and now we're still working remotely.
Yeah.
How do you still connect so much with your staff, right? I mean, yeah, you could text and you can, you know, obviously we're team Slack and emails, but I think the overall morale is harder to keep up when, you know, we can't have a quick 5-minute powwow, right? Like, because I'm a big believer in you feed off energy.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
I mean, when I'm in here and everyone's coming, I'm walking around giving high fives, just trying to, you know, it just that's the stuff I miss the most, and that's the stuff like we continue to try to like push and stay relevant. Like, we'll send just some stuff to our staff, but going back to the connectivities part and how we met, like I just think it's such a disservice that more people aren't doing it. It's all ego, man. It's completely all ego.
Yeah, man. Like, I used to be that guy that always used, and my wife will be the first one to tell you the story. I was always saying, I'm never going to get married. I don't think relationships are effective. And I used to, you know, badmouth them all the time. But at the end of the day, if you look, we're all human and we need that interaction. We need that connection. And if we don't feel like we're connecting, that's where you have bad culture. Yeah. That's where you have people that are uninterested and unhappy with their life. And I see it through social media, but I see what you guys have here. And I know some of the people that work here and they're very happy. They love the culture that they work in. And I think that's extremely effective. And that's why social media is effective, because even though some people don't want to admit it, we need that connection. We need to be able to see each other, even if it might not be face to face. Like some dude sliding into a girl's DMs. Like, we all need that connection point. You know what I mean? Right. And I think that like to your point about social media and how we met, we're here today doing this. And if it wasn't because of social media, I don't know if I would have ever met you. Maybe I would have, because we know a lot of the same people, but who knows, you know?
Right. Yeah, and I think it's why I kind of want to talk to you. Number one, meet you officially, but kind of like it's really a small success story. Like, I feel connected with you now. Like, I want the best for you.
Thanks, man.
Whatever I can do to help you, I'm going to do it. Fact. That's already, and that would have been before we even talked on camera. You know, I think another thing too, what holds people back is most people don't want to be held accountable. And like this medium, it's got you on a spotlight, big or small, right? If you're going to say and do something, then say it on camera, and then the people that you're trying to work with and or inspire, or vice versa, or re-get as clients, you're going to say something and not do it. you're gonna lose all credibility.
For sure.
So this is even I like to even do it as much because it'll help just continue to hold me accountable as well.
Yeah.
Like, really, you're gonna take care of our employees, but then you're gonna do this. Like, remember, rewind the tape, right? Rewind the tape.
Man, that's a great point. Like accountability. You know, if it wasn't because of the people that I have around me, back to that point of connecting, if I didn't connect with the right people, I'll be the first one to say, man, I'd be a huge screw up. And even using social media as a platform, being mindful of who I bring into my circle, being mindful of fostering certain relationships and putting reminders on my phone, literally, hey, reach out to this person, reach out to that person. Like, if it wasn't because of I do those things to keep myself accountable and having the people around me, dude, I'd be worried about, man, am I gonna say the wrong thing? Am I gonna do the right thing? Do the incorrect thing?
Yeah.
So that's crucial.
My only filter here is I ask these guys here, like, whether I can tweet certain things because Twitter is like the ultimate landmine. I actually like that medium now more than, well, not recently because of everything going on. It's too much. It's too much. I'm there strictly for the comedy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an outlet.
Yeah.
But it's funny, and I have a filter because some things I think are funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these guys are here always worried about, well, hold on, like maybe people will interpret it, and because we range in different ages, it's true. Like, they're more. Their ears to the ground, right? No, that doesn't make sense. That's not funny or not.
Mm-hmm.
But Twitter, man, Twitter's kind of one of those things where I've actually connected with people on Twitter too.
Yeah,
that's even crazier. Like, just literally engaging, and then like it
doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, man. It doesn't stop.
I love Twitter. Twitter is actually where I go for anything sports related. Like, I don't even watch the news anymore. I just go to Twitter because anything that's like news will pop up on Twitter first.
Right, real time. The beat writers, everybody's
on there.
Like last night, the same thing too. Now I'm doing it while I'm watching games. Like halftime, I'll kind of go. Did I miss anything? Right? Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
But what I don't think I do enough, and I want to get better at is even doing more engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just overall, like, but Twitter too. Sometimes I think, there's a stat, that we kind of learned about. Like, only 90% of the people on social media, 90% actually just cruise. They're just on there. Look at what's going on. Like 9% of the people like stuff, and only 1% actually engage.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think that extra level of connectivity comes. And let's say they write a story, right? But like, a couple things, like actually being okay with telling someone they're doing a good job. Like, we're so obsessed with all things that are bad, and everyone's obsessed with being mad about something and its negativity. Let's be positive. Like, it's okay to call somebody out and say, man, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's okay to do that, and the interesting part of what you said that really stood out to me is, so have you ever posted a video and you have like 300 views, but you only have 70 likes?
Yeah.
Okay, so that happens all the time. Why? People are watching what you're doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that they like it. And even if you go in your mind and think, man, they didn't like it, it's not that they didn't like it. Sometimes there's certain people that need you to engage with them.
Right.
I can't tell you the amount of times that I've had people, I have people that like are religious followers, and they look at everything that I post, and they'll never comment, they'll never like it, but I know they're looking at it. And I'll reach out to them, and then all of a sudden we create a dialogue and we connect. Sometimes people need you to connect with them first. I
think that's the missing piece with so much and I think just you do a great job. We talked about it earlier.
Thank you, man.
Like, we're putting out, like, we're trying to, and by the way, my confidence level is really high because I'm in the insurance business. So the floor is really low. Like, if I was competing against, like different, I don't know, marketing companies, stuff like that, it's insurance, right?
Yeah.
So my safety net is the fact that I'm in the insurance business, so I can literally do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it becomes interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's kind of been, but it's true. Like, we go out and do so much good stuff. My second thing is I always want to be mindful of, like, man, we got to do a better job of connecting with other people, like, and commenting, like, not just be like, we're here producing to look at me, but we got to kind of be more proactive on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's kind of going to be my new mission, which I think I do now, but again, it's never enough. This thing doesn't stop. Yeah. Like, people don't understand this is a commitment. Like, it's nice to do this stuff, but this is work. Yeah. It's commitment. And then I get reminded by everybody, hey, remember, you got to sell insurance too. I have a few business partners that get on me.
No, and that makes sense, man. But it goes hand in hand, because, for example, when I decide to purchase a home, I'm gonna go to you guys because I see you guys, and you guys are doing something that other people don't do. Right. And that level of commitment and being intentional in building those relationships is what's gonna set this apart and continue to raise that culture here. So I mean, you're on the right track.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think the second part too is not making it about yourself also. Like, we talked about, like, we're promoting ourselves.
Yeah.
But I'm going to continue to get more uncomfortable. I joke around with these guys. I want to do like a little movie. like a little sitcom. You know, if I had the time, it's funny. I obviously I love insurance, but I do like the whole talking to people, connecting. I'm into the whole comedy stuff.
Mhm.
It's just for me, it's entertaining, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like a distraction. But I want to do it for. It sounds weird where people think I'm doing it for me, but I'm not. Like the more attention I can bring
Yeah.
to this company, more people can come. The more people want to come work here, the more sales. Like the more we can help our employees grow. Like I'm passionate about them.
Mhm.
So believe it or not, man, I got 42 people here. I'm still trying to convince people to come and just sit there, like literally walk 10 feet and talk to me. But not everybody's comfortable doing it. And I
Yeah.
wasn't either. I remember I was the most anti-social media person before. Not usually anti, I just wasn't
Yeah.
in it. Because I made it about me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna do it. But I flipped my script and now I'm getting more comfortable. So I'm gonna just kind of take it to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep pushing it.
You know, there's one thing that really changed for me. And again, listen, I'm not a guru. I'm just living life and doing my best, trying to, help as many people as possible. But one thing that really changed for me was understanding that the gifts and the abilities that I have are not for me. They're for others. So when I flipped that switch and started, thinking that way, it was less about, okay, if I post this exercise, it's not so people can see, man, I look great or I'm doing a great exercise. It's, listen, this is something that you can do.
Yeah.
These are the tips. This is how you're going to do it. Hopefully this educates you or motivates you. And that's been my thought process ever since. Anytime that there's something, and like with you, I see your stuff all the time and I'm always cracking up,
Appreciate that.
That right there is a gift. And if you were to feel bad about that, maybe that content wouldn't even come out anymore. And you don't know whose day, like there might be a day where I'm not feeling my best. If I see that and I'm cracking up and I'm having a great time, that might make me feel better. So at the end of the day, man, I don't think anyone should ever feel guilty for using their gifting as long as it's impacting others.
Dude, I'm gonna continue to use this as a success story, like connecting with you. I just want people to hopefully just kind of let their guard down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like don't make it about themselves, but be okay with, hey, I send you a message doesn't mean I want to marry you. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to go to that level. Like it's just it's so guarded, man. I don't know if it's just like this. It just seems maybe more people get uncomfortable because they have their own business, and yeah, they're not looking to monopolize or I can't even say this word. Monetize. What am I saying? Can you monetize? Wow.
Yeah,
Tongue
I know what
twister.
you mean.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
I was almost
I
gonna go like
mean-
this. I was gonna start doing the money thing, but like I think because of that, people get more comfortable initially, and people that aren't kind of make it about themselves. But this platform works, man. Like, what is it? They say you can only connect total. I think us as a society, we were built to kind of max be around 150 people. Like, you have like your top 5, top 10 real connections.
Yeah, but
we
you
weren't
can't-
built to be
No.
around everybody. But I think this now that there's no more barriers, like I'm not saying you have to have 150 deep connections, but you can connect with more people just
Yeah.
on a smaller level.
You can have a lot of acquaintances.
There you go.
You
A
know?
couple of acquaintances. I mean, are they coming to the wedding? I don't know.
I don't know about all
Who's
that.
paying for it? Right? Who's paying for it? Then that list gets smaller.
Yeah, man. I mean, in my wedding, we went through some of that. But, back to your point, you said something like, you can connect with someone, doesn't mean you got to marry them. I'm so glad I don't have to I'm not single in this era right now, because when I met my wife, I met her 10 years ago. Like it wasn't like this. Now we're all so jaded where if a guy gets a message from a girl or if a guy or vice versa or whatever, you immediately think, okay, either this person wants to sell me something,
Yeah.
they want to ask me out. Like we're so cynical. And part of it is because we have brought that on ourselves,
Yep.
as opposed to just connecting to connect, seeing if we can really offer value to someone instead of trying to get from them. I think that's what will change our society for it to become a better place.
Be good, man. And hopefully that if people took that mindset, it changed the game. Also, too, we start to focus on what makes us similar too. Like everyone's just focused on why we're different, but if we're similar, everybody across the board in more ways than others. Like we just focused on that, then why talk about what's different?
Yeah.
The first thing is like, why are we different?
Yeah.
Like, why are we similar? Dude, we're both athletes. We're both fathers, both married. Dude, we're both from the same city. It just seems like, like once you focus on that, you're able to also connect a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's funny, man. Like we wouldn't know each other, but we moved to like LA.
Yeah.
And then we meet and we're both from Miami.
Yeah.
We're friends.
That's it. Yeah.
But here, everybody's just looking around like we're just complete strangers, right? Like it's just, it's going to change. Me and you will be the crusade. We'll go Instagram live and go a little marathon.
We'll do it.
And invite people in and see what's up.
I'm so down for that, man.
Dude, but man, I appreciate you coming on.
Of course,
whatever I
man.
can do to help you, I'm going to
Yes.
do it. And I really appreciate you, and I look forward to building a relationship together.
Yeah.